Hello, Robert Dakota here of Worldviews Media. I'm coming to you from Sedona, the other Holy Land. William Henry is over in Egypt and has agreed to connect with us to give us a little insight of what you're going to experience and take away from the workshop we're doing in December 1st, 1 through 3. And that's called Halo. Could you give us a little more feedback on that, William?
For sure. And thank you for chatting here, Robert. It's really great to build a bridge between where I'm at right now, which is at the base of the Great Pyramids at the Mina House Hotel, and Sedona. There's just some really deep, powerful connection between these two locations. And I've been told so much lately that Egypt there's something, so many people are wanting to come to Egypt right now. It's unbelievable. I mean, I've been coming here for 20 years, almost every year for 20 years, including during the lean times right after the revolution. And now it seems like everybody and their grandmother are offering tours to Egypt, and new people are starting to do this. And it's really tremendously exciting because the Egyptians have waited a long time for this. And the metaphysical people, the spiritually minded people that are coming here are being drawn here now. They're being called. There's something that's coming out of Egypt now that is very unique, very special, and it's connected with Sedona in so many ways. So it's like Sedona is the gateway. In America, it's truly the focal point for the spiritual transformation that's happening in the United States. And so it's really just awesome to be one of the bridge builders here between these two locations. So when I do the Halo event in Sedona, December 1st for the 3rd, it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for me to distill work that I've been doing for the past 2 years on my Halo events. I've done 5 now in Nashville, 5 live Halo events, beginning with my Awakening the Pearl work from 2020 all the way into 2023 now with Halo 5. And the focus of it is really about the pineal gland and all of the ancient mystery school teachings about the pineal gland, how it's awakening, how it triggers the luminosity and radiance of people, how it releases the secretions. Most notably, Christos in the Christian tradition was considered an oil. They called it Christos, which means an anointing. Christos is also the name for the Essene or Jewish mystical name for the oil of joy. And in the text where they describe the oil of joy, they talk about Yeshua or Jesus teaching his little brother James all about these principles about how to kickstart the pineal gland and awaken the potentials of the pineal gland to release this oil of joy that can cure any human disease. They call it the oil of joy because it brings healing, but also because it puts one in connection with a joy or a bliss beyond bliss that is otherworldly. And this was the key secret that Jesus transmitted to the disciples, especially James, and also, of course, notably Mary Magdalene, and all the Mira Force. This is something that I covered extensively in Halo 2 and Halo 3, as well as 4, looking into the Essene, the Jewish mystical and ancient Egyptian mysteries of these figures: Jesus, Mary Magdalene, James, the brother of Jesus, Nicodemus, Joseph of Arimathea, the 3 Marys. These are all experts, acknowledged experts in oils, herbs, but especially plant medicine. And this is something that was a real revelation to me. I had been doing a lot of research for 20 years on the Essenes and looking into their mystery school teachings from an academic perspective. When I was living in Nashville, I've relocated to Phoenix now. When I was living in Nashville, I had access to a tremendous library, the Vanderbilt University Divinity Library, which was packed with every single text, publication, PhD dissertation that was ever done on the Essenes. There was a family called the Zimmerman family. They started a company called Service Merchandise a few decades ago, and they funded this Judaica museum that is the #1 museum in the or library in the world for Judaica studies and Essene studies. And I had access to that for a long time. And kept peeling back the layers of the mysteries of the Essenes and the Dead Sea Scrolls. And they kept talking about their understanding of this oil of joy, this Christos, and how it could produce. They had prophecies about how the Archangel Michael was involved originally in the production of this mysterious substance that could dissolve the human body into light. The Essenes wrote these stories, for example, about Enoch, who in his ascension met the Archangel Michael, and Michael anointed him with this oil of joy that transformed his human body into an angelic light body. And that really got my attention. And I'm thinking, what is this oil? And is it produced on earth, or as the Dead Sea Scrolls and even the Christian mystical texts are suggesting, it comes from another realm, even another dimension? It could be something like Gary Young or Young Living Essential Oils could blend, but it's actually, the stories say, no, there's an other dimensional aspect to this. And this really captured my imagination. And I realized that it would be difficult to tell this story in a single event. So this is where I started the Halo events, because it was very clear in the Dead Sea Scrolls and the early Christian mystical texts that they had full awareness of the secrets of the skull and what goes on between our ears and the mystical secretions of the pineal gland and how to kickstart it and to release these hormones all the way up to dimethyltryptamine or DMT that opens portals or gateways in our consciousness so we can connect with these otherworldly beings. So I knew as I was developing the Halo series that ultimately it was going to be able to get distilled into a really powerful weekend experience. And that's what I'm going to be doing December 1st through the 3rd, beginning Friday night and into Saturday and Sunday, is pulling the vital threads of this research together into one weekend that includes all the historical data, mind-blowing sacred art that reveals how the Halo is kickstarted, along with meditations for activating the pineal gland. I've had so many participants that have done, for example, the Joe Dispenza workshops, who are like, wait a minute, this is what Joe is doing. And I'm like, yeah, and this is the Essene origins of this work, because we go very deep into the New Testament as a coded manual, for an instruction manual for kickstarting our inner awareness in the neurosecretory system that releases these secretions. And I take it even further by going back into the ancient Egyptian tradition, which is one reason I'm so excited to be here now in anticipation of this December event, to fine-tune some of my research, gather some more pictures, and reveal that this teaching is the true cosmic teaching that is ultimately woven through all the world's religious and spiritual traditions. They all ultimately want to take us into the skull and help us to recognize the potential, the power within our pineal gland to, again, release these hormones and these secretions that can heal the body and ultimately transfigure the body into its next higher form. So, we have an opportunity right now. And again, I'm very grateful for the chance to put all this together. It's decades of research. It's 2 years of concurrent Halo events that'll be distilled into one weekend, a master class that will just take you right straight to the core of it and give you in one weekend in a package a very powerful tool that you can put in your kit. So I'm really looking forward to it.
We are too, William. Thank you so much for your time. We know you got to get back to your tour in Egypt. It's really cool and awesome to be speaking to you, from Egypt to Sedona. And looking forward to having you here in person. And thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you, Robert. And I look forward to seeing everybody December 1st through 3rd, whether in person or online.
Great. Thank you so much, William.
Pleasure.
See you soon.
Thank you.